Order. The House and Committee on the Education Amendment Bill and the Immigration Amendment Bill is resumed. Members, before dinner break we were debating Part 1 of the Education Amendment Bill. Tracy Martin had the call. She has approximately 4.5 minutes remaining. Tracy Martin.
Talofa, Mr. Speaker. So, it was lovely to have the break actually because I needed to go and get a prop. So, as I was speaking before we went to the break, another thing the public may not understand is that the New Zealand curriculum is an interlinking document from Year 1 through to Year 13. It goes forward in stages. You grow on your knowledge all the way from Year 1 right through to Level 3 in CA. Now, if you're going to put, I beg your pardon, if people are going to put their children, if they're going to take this choice to place their children inside charter schools who can use whatever curriculum they like, as I mentioned in my second reading speech, there's only a single page out of this world-recognised document that they need to use. But if you make the choice, if the families make the choice to place their children inside a charter school profit-making facility, then you better hope, I beg your pardon, the families need to hope that if the children are placed in a primary charter school, that charter school then has a secondary one right next door. Because if not, there is a very good chance that those children will emerge from that profit-making charter school with their curriculum with no linkage to the rest of the New Zealand state school system. No linkage at all. Or what about the other way? What about the other way round? What happens if, so your children go along very nicely, as many, many, many children in the country do, to a state public school for their primary school years. But then the family makes a choice to send the children to a charter school in their secondary years. There is a requirement under the contract for a charter school to provide qualifications up to NCA Level 2 or its equivalent. No definition of its equivalent inside the bill, but I'm sure we can trust the contract to identify it so that the parents will be well informed before they sign their children by choice into a school that at this stage there's a whole lot of things they haven't been told about. And I now want to address the fact that the funding for this school has taken away from successful programs. And I want to quote, sir, from the Tiko Tahitanga report put out by the university. And this is a quote that I think is very important because these schools are the answer apparently for Māoridom and Pacifica. And I would like to invite Mr O'Connor to extend an invitation to him and anybody in his community who would like to come and visit with me Maharangi College from the Kiribati community in central Auckland. More than happy to come and work and create relationships between two state schools to actually lift the achievement of our Kiribati citizens. But this is from the report. Whānau reported that their children felt appreciated as Māori in school and were more positive about school than they themselves had been. Parents, teachers, facilitators, principals and other school leaders reported improvements in student attendance, participation, motivation and engagement. In terms of real numbers, there is an average increase in Year 11 Māori student enrolment of approximately 250% from 2005 to 2008 at Tiko Tahitanga schools. But we chose not to roll that out as a nation. Just there last week, or just 10 days ago, the decision was made not to roll this out and actually make this training compulsory inside every mainstream school to lift the achievement of our Māori and our Pacifica students. Instead, we chose as a nation to wash our hands of the Māori and Pacifica children inside our mainstream schools and to put money into private businesses. That is the decision that has been making here tonight. The fact that the government members cannot stand and argue for this legislation speaks volumes. The only argument they have had is why not?
Scott Simpson.
I move that the question be now put.